somebody should be one-on-one.
Williams pitches it to Swift. Swift in trouble, and down he goes. And the Colts hold.
In an option, it immediately forces the quarterback to be not a part of the play.
Well, and Tiki, there was no edge over there. It was just a guard and tackle, and Indy already had two defenders.
Why are you looking
outside.
upset?
So it was so easy for them to defend that play.
I think that was the perfect play.
But now for Indianapolis,
Perfect play.
It was the perfect play.
Man. We'll
get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that later. But that was definitely not a play I was very fond of. That's for sure.
Well. How you feeling today, Coach K?
We're feeling good. You know what I mean?
Are you feeling good?
I mean, not after last week's game, but you know, we move. You know what I mean? 1-2 on the season, but we're gonna get into that shortly here. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just do a quick recap of all of the games that have passed this past Sunday. We had some good matchups that happened to happen. Some that were surprising, some that wasn't so surprising. If it's possible that we can get that week 3 results graphic up, that would be fantastic. There were a lot of games that I was actually shocked by. One in particular, I didn't see the way that the Buccaneers lost.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that one coming.
Me either.
Minnesota going 3-0 is actually, I won't say it's surprising, but it's quite fitting for the narrative around what the NFC North was going to be this season, as far as the difficulties for anyone in this particular division to just run away with it. And to see Minnesota going 3-0 while you have the Packers, I think, who are 2-1?
2-1, yeah.
The Bears are 1-2, and Detroit is
2-1 as
well. It's funny because a lot of people saw the Bears being a little bit more in the mix, and Minnesota being the team that would be out of the mix because they didn't have Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So to see them still in a situation where they're the ones leading the division is quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, you got the Broncos, who pretty much just killed the Buccaneers. The Steelers, who came out and beat the Chargers. I won't say that was a surprise game because the Steelers have a great defense.
Yeah.
But seeing Justin Herbert going down makes me wonder about how the Chargers season is going to go. So that's something to be interested on. The Eagles and the Saints game, that kind of just felt like a dogfight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I definitely thought New Orleans was gonna come in there and then whoop some ass. But,
yeah, I thought that too.
But Philadelphia came in with the right game plan. I mean, holding them only 12 points when they've been one of the most prominent offenses in the NFL so far.
Yeah.
So it was very surprising to see for sure.
Yeah. New York pulling out a win.
Yeah, against a actually pretty decent Cleveland team. I've been saying it for a while. I think Cleveland should be like one of the top teams in the NFL just because of how much skill they have on defense and offense. So that just, I think, attests to maybe Deshaun Watson not being the quarterback they need, but it's good win for the Giants, man. Good win for the Giants.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if I would agree that Deshaun isn't the quarterback that they need. I think there's a lot of things going on in Cleveland similar to Chicago in a way.
Gotcha.
But we'll talk about that later into the segment. I mean, other surprises. Seattle being 3-0 is it's not this is the thing. It's not a surprise to me that they're 3-0 because Geno has been doing such a great job of just learning that offense, learning his teammates and different things like that. So I'm not surprised, but I'm also just kind of like, wow. It's almost like Minnesota in the NFC North. To see Seattle on top of their division, it's like, wow, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that's where we at with it. And then everything else, I mean, Baltimore pulled out a tough win. Dallas almost came back, but didn't. Kansas City beat the Falcons. Okay, we're not really surprised by that.
Another questionable.
And then Monday night's games, Buffalo killed the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't even know why that was slated for a Monday night football game.
Seriously.
And then the more surprising game, I guess, is Jaden Daniels going into Cincinnati and beating Joe Burrow. So, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I don't know if the Commanders beating the Cincinnati Bengals, that might be the biggest surprise, I guess, for me. The way that the Buccaneers got beat by Denver is a bigger surprise.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't expect Denver to roll in and just beat them like that. But the biggest surprise to me, in my opinion, was probably the way that the Commanders went into Cincinnati's house and kind of put belt to ass.
For me, I think it was the way the Panthers kind of came out and beat the Oakland Raiders there, or the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
But Panthers, man, Andy Dalton looked like a veteran, as he should be.
You know, sometimes when you are setting up to scheme against a certain quarterback and a certain team based upon the style they play with that quarterback, when you get that next quarterback that comes in, you don't really know. You don't have all the film. You kind of have old film on how that quarterback was, but you don't have film on how they play with that quarterback at that particular team with that particular roster. So you don't really know exactly how you're supposed to scheme. So sometimes the luck of the draw can just be when you just do things by surprise. When you catch somebody by surprise, it just kind of helps you win games in the NFL like that. But moving on from the recap, that was a good Sunday and good Monday of games. I want to talk about this this wonderful game we saw between our hometown Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts. Can we please get that screenshot of the beautiful 4th and goal play?
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's
where our wonderful offensive coordinator Shane Waldron decided to call a sweep play at the goal line. He decided that the good thing to do would be to space out your offensive line and sweep them going left with a toss at that. Not even just a handoff sweep, just a toss.
It's a little speed option.
A little speed option with a quarterback who isn't Justin Fields, by the way.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about the game? Just quickly. I mean, we don't have to just single-handedly just talk. We could single-handedly talk about this one play, but just quickly, how did you feel about the game?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the defense came in and did what they were supposed to do. They forced some turnovers, 2 interceptions again.
Right.
Jalen Johnson and Tremaine Edmonds. Credit to Jack Sanborn on that first pick to Tremaine Edmonds. Got a good hand on the ball there, but still was not too enthused with how the offense was playing. I mean, going into the half, we had 3 points. Should have been 6, but Cairo missed the field goal in the first quarter. But I mean, the guy's been automatic up until this point. So I mean, I'm not gonna hop on the bandwagon and be like, oh, he should be making kicks, because he has been. I think it's up to the offense to go down and get 6 regardless, which they started to do in the second half. Towards the end there, the touchdown pass to Rome, touchdown pass to Colt Kmet, wide open, good scheme there, nice little play. But I wasn't impressed. I'm still not impressed. You know what I mean? Especially having your rookie quarterback throw the ball for 53 times. I just think you cannot do in only his 3rd game as a NFL starter. Just unacceptable in my opinion. You gotta just look at the Commanders, for example. You know what I mean? Being able to ease in, a good quarterback and Jaden Daniels, some would say a great quarterback, still only having him average about 10 air yards per throw. You know what I mean? I was looking at the next-gen stats the other day, and he threw a total of 3 or 4 balls that were over 20 yards that were air yards. So I think that just shows to see how one team has prepared for the incoming rookie quarterback versus another in Chicago, where you kind of expected the guy to come out and just gunsling. I just don't think that's a winning formula at all, or a good way to develop your quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think the Bears, defensively, they could have played better on defense, in my opinion. I think they allowed Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts to get away with a lot of things that they shouldn't have gotten away with. There were some throws that Anthony Richardson made that probably some deep balls that probably shouldn't have been there for him to make. We absolutely got ran over by Jonathan Taylor, which was something that I didn't expect based upon how our defense has been playing. And the Bears still look lost on offense. In my opinion, a lot of our skill players are not showing that they know how to pick up on blocking schemes, from the tight ends to the wide receivers. Some of them just feel like it seems like some of them feel like they're just being put in positions to do things that they're not comfortable with.
I mean, I've got two examples. Sorry to jump in, but I mean the play where Cole Kmet came off, was blocking with Mercedes Lewis,
And
then
Latu
yes,
came around.
Latu came around for the strip sack, and then in the red zone or in the goal line where DeAndre Carter
Was
ended
trying
up
to block,
blocking
yeah.
the defensive end. I mean,
Mhm.
that's just kind of a scheme that I think leads you to a losing football game.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess the bad part about it is just that everybody's a football player. Everybody gets taught that you block, that you have to be able to catch the ball. Obviously, at this pro level, there are some people who are more. They've practiced certain things a little bit more than others, so they're a little bit more skilled in certain areas of all aspects of football. But essentially, everybody is supposed to be accountable for being able to block somebody, be able to catch the football if required, just certain things. So guys making it to the pro level, not being able to pick up blocking schemes, not being able to hold a man in front of them at least for a good 2 seconds, 3 seconds, it's kind of unacceptable, in my opinion. I get that certain guys feel like, well, this isn't what I do, but it's like, yeah, it is. It is what you do. It's similar to me in basketball, where you have athletes in basketball who can't make free throws or can't make wide open shots. It's like, I'm not saying you have to be Kyle Korver or JJ Redick or Steph Curry from the free throw line, but to be 60% from the free throw line or to be shooting 25% from the 3-point line when you're wide open is absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But moving on to Caleb Williams, right? I want to focus on him for a little bit. And we're going to call this the state of Caleb. And I'm just going to go first because I know I know you have great feelings, strong feelings about Caleb. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to be the first one to be honest about it and say that I did not want him. Okay? So as a Bears fan, I did not want Caleb Williams. I wanted Jaden Daniels, who we did not get, right? We did not get Jaden Daniels at all. So because we didn't get Jaden, I'm already a little perturbed by the Caleb Williams experience so far. Now, there are some things that I do like. Caleb is getting the ball out quickly. Is he always hitting his target? No. Is he always in sync with his wide receivers? No. But he is getting the ball out fairly quickly, which means that in some understanding, he knows that the ball needs to leave his hand, that he shouldn't hold on to the ball all day, every day. The thing about it, though, is that he doesn't look comfortable at all. I don't know if that's a coaching thing. I don't know if he's scared behind the offensive line, which we definitely can try to utilize as a scapegoat. But I'm not the one to use that as a scapegoat for Caleb Williams, because Bears fans have known that our offensive line was porous, right? Even when Justin was the quarterback. But what Bears fans were willing to say about Justin and why they were willing to move on from Justin was that he didn't process quick enough. He wasn't reading the defense good enough. He wasn't getting the ball out quick. And through the conversations and the scouting of Caleb Williams, Caleb was supposed to be the answer and the antidote to everything that Justin didn't bring, right? He was supposed to have the quicker mind. He was supposed to have the fast release. He was supposed to be able to read the defenses. He was supposed to know where to go with the ball. His IQ was supposed to be much better, right? That's why we were moving on from Justin and getting Caleb. So essentially, this quarterback was supposed to make up for the deficiencies of the offensive line, right? A part of why people felt like Justin was getting hit so much was because he was holding on to the ball too long. He didn't know where to go with it. He wasn't reading the defense, blah, blah, blah. And now we have Caleb, who's supposed to be the antithesis to what Justin is, right? He's supposed to be able to read the defense, do all these things. And it seems like even with that, I don't feel like he's delivering on the goods of that promise, in my opinion. I think that while others may think that he's reading the field, I think he just doesn't know where to go. Where people think he's reading progressions, I think he's just confused. I think he's just sitting around trying to figure out what he should do. I don't think he's going through progressions. I think he's absolutely lost. I think he doesn't know where to go with the football prior to the snap. I don't think he's reading it as well as people think he is. And I think we're giving him the benefit of doubt because we have been sold on what he was supposed to be able to do. So we think because he's moving his head and he's looking here, he's looking there. I think the boy is just really confused. Because if he really knew where to go with the football, it would be more of the Jaden Daniels experience with Cincinnati. Because you go 21 for 23 because you know where to go. You're pre-reading the defense. A lot of times people think that if a quarterback is making an audible, that is because, oh my God, they see something. A lot of times you're making an audible because you're trying to get into a play that's more comfortable for you to run. It's not necessarily because you have figured out, okay, the play that I have right here, I know exactly where I'm going to go with the wide receiver on this route. With all the routes that are part of this play, I see what the defense is doing. That means I'm going to my Y. I'm going to my Z. I'm going to my X. No, he's changing the play because he's not comfortable with feeling like whatever this play design is, I can find the receiver that's going to basically be open with whatever defense they're throwing at it. To me, that's what's happening. I think there's a failure, and I don't know if it's a failure in him. I don't know if it's a failure in the coaching. I don't know if it's a failure in the preparation. But having to throw the ball 52 times, all because the defense is daring that quarterback to beat them with their arm, says a lot. I didn't see Cincinnati thinking that they could blitz Jaden Daniels all day. I didn't see Cincinnati thinking that they could put 8 in the box on Jaden Daniels the whole time. I didn't see that. But I did see 2 weeks in a row where teams have just decided, oh, just blitz. Send everybody. Usually smart quarterbacks are able to pick apart 0 blitzes. Usually good quarterbacks make you pay when you send extra people. That throw that Jaden Daniels had to Terry McLaughlin for that touchdown to put them up a little further against Cincinnati, I think it was in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, where it was a 0 blitz, the corner came off the edge, and he anticipated the throw way before Terry even made his double move. That's amazing. As a rookie, he's not supposed to be able to make that play as a quarterback. I'm going to be honest. He's not supposed to make that throw. It's not supposed to happen. So I'm seeing things in Jaden Daniels that I'm just like, that's what we were supposed to be getting out of Caleb. We're not getting that. And I know people want to blame the offensive line, but again, I'm going to reiterate. We knew the offensive line was bad. Bears fans, we knew the offensive line was bad. We knew it was bad. So with that being said, now you have Caleb. He's supposed to be the one to make up for the deficiencies of the offensive line because he can read, he has a greater IQ, he can get the ball out faster, and it's just not happening. It's not happening. I'm watching the change of two worlds. Jaden looks one way, Caleb looks one way. They're both rookies, week 3, and they're on a completely different trajectory. So I'm gonna leave it to you. That's my thoughts on Caleb. I'm gonna give you the floor because I don't really have anything else to say unless you say something that I really feel like I have to like rebuttal to.
Sure.
The floor is yours.
So, respectfully, I've heard a good amount of Bears fans already say the things you've been saying, where Jaden Daniels is looking more pro ready. I mean, he kind of came in and is already making throws that we thought Caleb was gonna make.
Yeah.
Caleb has been inaccurate, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is a culmination of a whole bunch of things that went wrong.
Okay.
I don't know what the Bears were doing in training camp. I mean, maybe it was because they had
was
the
on Hard
distraction
Knocks.
of Hard Knocks.
Didn't you see it? It was on Hard Knocks.
I mean, how much did we see on Hard Knocks?
They were
though?
signing contracts and shaking hands and going to
Yeah,
Matt
but-
Eberflus's house. It was great.
Yeah, but how much actual football, like for a Hard Knocks that was a training camp?
Yeah.
I thought we saw very little football and very little practice time. Like I
agree.
I thought it was very controlled by the McCaskies, but that's a whole different conversation.
Okay.
Anyways, I just don't think coming into week 1, the Bears were prepared at all. The offense was not prepared at all. Shane Waldron didn't know what he was doing with his team.
And you're saying from week 1. You're starting at week 1.
From week 1.
Okay, but
And
I want you to focus. I want you to focus on Caleb.
And that goes on to week 3. No, because it all stems from one problem.
All right.
It starts from the offensive scheme, I think, because the offensive line, and I know a lot of people give them shit for it, for not being able to block, not being able to pick up stunts or switches and stuff like that. Respectfully, right? That's something the NFL offensive line should be able to do, but it is tight. It is tough in and of itself to do so. And I think multiple interviews with Tevin Jenkins or Donald Wright have depicted that, where it's like, those are always going to be tough. Even in practice when they get hit with them, it's tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, we see Coleman Shelton just get absolutely tossed, into the backfield.
It is just really quickly. I want people to understand. They're professionals, and we understand that.
Yes.
It is hard backpedaling to keep a man who's 200 to 300 pounds full of muscle going at you in front of you. It's just difficult. They're moving forward. You're moving backwards. So you have to move your feet much faster than they do in order to keep them in front of you. Being on the offensive line doesn't get the credit that it deserves, which is why we're going to talk about that a little bit more when it comes down to Ryan Poles. But I just wanted to say that. So for Bears fans who are really hard on the offensive line, just really understand how difficult their position is in the scheme of what football is. It is a very difficult task and a very difficult job, and offensive linemen don't really get the respect that they deserve.
Would you say it's a skill? Blocking as an offensive lineman is a skill.
It might be the most important skill in football.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I've heard mixed opinions. Some people were like, well, they're big as shit. They should just be able to block anyway.
No, it ain't. I mean, it ain't like that. I mean, some offensive linemen have to take ballet.
Right. Yeah.
Just so they can work on their feet.
Yeah. Footwork, quick feet.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
it's again, somebody coming at you and they're going downhill. So they're going with forward motion. 300-some pounds, full of muscle, Aaron Donald type guy. They have all the momentum on their side because they're moving forward. You as an offensive lineman, you're moving back. You're backpedal, especially if it's pass blocking. Now, run blocking is different.
right, because they could actually
Run
go out
blocking,
and attack.
you get to impose your will.
Yeah.
Which is why for our run game to be so bad, now that one is a little bit more like you guys may just need to hit the weight room.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean,
all right, go ahead.
DeAndre Swift. I mean, all right. I know people weren't fans of his signing. I wasn't necessarily either.
Right.
I thought he was going to be a great addition to the pass game, considering Shane Waldron coming in from Seattle, having the weapons he did and being able to create how he was in Seattle. I thought that this pass offense was going to look a lot different, and this run offense. I mean, he had Kenneth Walker in Seattle, right? So
right.
For DeAndre Swift for the past 2 weeks to rush the ball for 14 carries and 20 yards is preposterous. Preposterous, ladies and gentlemen. I can't fathom how bad this run game has been. I don't think I've seen a worse run game from the Bears ever. I mean, it's it's crazy to see
No,
that,
I would agree with
that,
you.
that in the rookie year of a quarterback, which just goes back to Caleb, and to me being on the side of Caleb, how are you to succeed when Jaden Daniels is getting his running backs to average over 80 yards per game when you can't even get 20 yards in the whole game? I mean, the Commanders had about 50 rushing yards going into the second half. We can't even get that for 2 games.
Yes, and I think that deals more with the personnel we are using at the running back position.
Yes.
I don't think that's necessarily because we can't run the ball. I think it's more so because we have a bell cow and Roshan Johnson that we're not utilizing because we want to be a more flashy offense.
I mean, for crying out loud, Travis Homer was playing all the snaps in week 1 and week 2, and Roshan Johnson didn't see the field at all.
I know. And so my thing is, we would look like a totally, this goes into a deeper conversation about politics of football and maybe the politics of the Bears. And I know, we have certain segments that we've lined up for today, so I don't want to get too far off but just as a quick tangent, we could line this up in the eye, right? Mm-hmm. And just let Roshan go to work and let Roshan just be a bell cow. He's the one back on our team that can just be a power back.
Well, Khalil
Herbert can do that as well, right? Yeah. We could go power game, but there's a reason why we're not going power game. Right? There's a definite reason why we're not doing this.
Are you talking about our shiny new toy, Malcolm?
I am talking about our shiny new toy, okay? Our shiny new toy, Caleb, has to throw the ball. We didn't draft him to hand the ball off. That's just the facts. The facts are they drafted this kid to swing the ball around.
So you think it's all politics?
I do.
Okay.
I
could see it from that angle.
I think that the Bears organization is looking at coaching and they're looking at Ryan Poles and they're asking questions about, okay, if we draft this kid, what are we getting out of him? Oh, we know what we're getting out of him. We saw what we saw at USC. We saw the fandom. We saw everybody going crazy over this kid. The oohs, the ahs, the Brett Favre type of ability, the Aaron Rodgers type of ability, the Patrick Mahomes making plays off the cuff, the sidearm. They thought that that's what they were going to get, entertainment factors, right? And we can't even get the entertainment out of this kid because even when he tries to be entertaining, it usually ends up in an interception. If we look at every single time that this kid has tried to scramble and get out of the pocket and do things, it's turned into interceptions for the most part.
You're saying in the NFL?
In the NFL.
Okay.
In USC, he was going crazy.
Right. I mean, you playing in what? It was the Big 12. Now they're in the Big 10.
Now they're in the Big 10. I thought it was the Pac-12.
Or the Pac-12.
Well, whatever. It wasn't the SEC. No. Which is why I was higher on Jaden Daniels than Caleb Williams because Jaden Daniels was going against most likely, for the most part, NFL level ready competition because most of the players that most teams in the NFL go after are the players that went to SEC schools. So he was playing essentially the best level of competition in college football, and he was exceeding. Right? The thing about what I hate about prospects in the NFL when we come to the draft, and I know we're off on a little bit of a tangent, but the thing that I hate about when you're scouting and looking at prospects is that everybody thinks that they can duplicate what's already existing. There's one Patrick Mahomes. Why are you trying to sell an entire fan base on the belief that this kid can be because he's Patrick Mahomes like?
Well, okay.
I get it. It sells tickets. It sells jerseys. And yes, if you can find the next Patrick Mahomes, oh my God, it would be great. If I could find the next Michael Jordan, which everybody has been trying to find, great. If you can find the next Steph Curry, great. The thing about it is, you ain't gonna find them because they're already here. They're already here. They're already doing their thing. They are the Patrick Mahomes. I am Patrick Mahomes. When 15 shows up from Kansas City, it is not 18 in a Bears jersey. when he plays Patrick Mahomes, we're going to see the difference. I don't know if he plays them this year, but whenever he plays Patrick Mahomes, we're going to find out that he ain't Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I think we're also going to see the difference in schemes to set up the quarterback in a successful way. I think that's also what we're going to see.
That's also
a lot different. So, like, see, here's the thing with Mahomes and the great quarterbacks like Brady, right? They were able to change the game, but where did it all stem from?
Well, Brady is different because Brady didn't come into the game throwing the ball. He had a great defense. He had a great defense, a good running game, and a great kicker.
Yes.
When he won those Super Bowls, he was a game manager. His first 3 Super Bowls, he was a game manager.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying is this, but this goes back to the politics. Brady was a 7th-round pick.
Okay.
Nobody cared if he did good or not. Caleb Williams is the 1st overall pick.
Probably one of the most hyped ones.
One of the most hyped ones since Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Prior to Trevor Lawrence,
probably more
than Trevor.
Yeah.
But second to Trevor or before Trevor, it was Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Right? All I'm saying is simply this. You have a kid that needs more time. You have a kid that probably shouldn't have been your day one starter. He probably should have had the Patrick Mahomes treatment. He probably should have had a year to learn, sit and watch, practice behind a veteran like an Alex Smith or whoever you could have got in here. Hell, he could have been behind Tyson Bagent for all I give a shit. But to bring him in day one and to make him your starter only because you're assuming that the things that you saw at USC could be duplicable on a NFL level was asinine.
Well, okay.
Because you didn't really, I don't think they really put into perspective that the kid, he ain't ready. He just ain't ready.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
He ain't ready.
That's crazy.
I know people want to blame the offensive line. And everybody's like all big and hoopla. Oh, yeah, 2 touchdowns and 300 some yards. Yeah, he passed the ball 185 times. I'm exaggerating. But he passed the ball 52 goddamn times. And a lot of those yards.
But whose fault is that? Why did he pass the ball 52 times?
I know why he passed the ball 52 times. Because the box was filled with 8 people. You have no choice. The Indianapolis Colts had the box filled.
That's not true.
They did.
That is not true.
For a good portion of the game.
For 40% of the rushes, they were sending 4 guys.
Not 40%.
And they were still getting to the quarterback.
Not 40% of the rushes. What I'm saying is this. A good portion of what Indianapolis was doing, they were pressuring the box. Whether they were sending guys every single time is not my point. A lot of it was disguise. Oh, we're going to load up the box and make it seem like we're doing something, and then they fall back. But my point is, Caleb Williams was drafted because he's supposed to know that. That's why Justin was kicked to the curb. Because Caleb was supposed to understand that. I mean, against Anthony Richardson, he was supposed to look like a superstar stud.
I thought you looked a lot better than Anthony Richardson.
Of course he did. Of course he looked better than Anthony Richardson. It's Anthony Richardson. What I'm saying though is
people are saying that's one of the next great quarterbacks in this league.
Anthony Richardson has a long way to go. A long way. He's literally what you call raw talent. Like the rawest of raw talent. Does he have some abilities and some skills to do something? Of course. But he's not there. He's completely not there.
Yeah.
So Indianapolis is really going through the growing pains with him. But when he get it, he'll be a problem if he gets it. Right?
He just got to
has to get it.
The accuracy.
Yeah, he just has to get his accuracy has to get a lot better.
Yeah.
But I expected Caleb to look like a complete stud against this kid. Arguably, you can't even say he outplayed him because one guy got the W and the other one got a loss. Now, you could bring in all the other factors. Anthony Richardson did not play well. He threw 2 interceptions away. Caleb did. He did.
Yes.
He only threw the ball 20 times.
Yep.
Okay? Now, who has the better defense?
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, all I'm saying is this. When we had opportunities, right? And I just want to stick on Caleb. we had the opportunity in our mind. I see most pass yards in a rookie. I get it. All of those things look great. And then it doesn't look great when you look into the context of things.
He already topped Justin Fields'
I
career high.
I understand that he already topped Justin Fields' game high. But speaking of Justin Fields, he's 3-0. Doing the things
Because of his team and the system he's playing in.
Okay, but he's also not throwing terrible passes.
He's throwing like 18 passes a game.
I don't care.
That's the problem because
I don't
there's no way that a rookie quarterback could come in and throw 53 passes and you think that team is going to win. No shot. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Peyton Manning in his rookie year, which, by the way, still holds to this day the rookie interception record.
Wow.
Yes. So that is Exhibit A.
Okay, why do people keep bringing that up as if there's supposed to be some comparison to Peyton Manning and Caleb Williams?
No, that's not the point. My point is you have to give the rookie quarterback time to develop. And that doesn't mean the problem is people are trying to compare Justin Fields and Caleb Williams' stats this season, right? 3 games in. You've got a guy that's in year 4 of his NFL career versus a guy that's in week 3 of his NFL career. That is not a fair comparison. I don't care where he's coming from. Let's be real. The media hyped this guy up so much, and Nick Saban said it on Hard Knocks. It is unfair expectations for this guy to come in and ball.
Look at that.
Yes,
Look at that.
How many passes is he throwing a game?
I don't
He's throwing 20. It is the system. It is the system. He has been blessed with a great running game, a great offensive line.
I do not care about how many passes are being thrown.
You should, though.
No, because I'm concerned about your ability to complete the passes, your completion percentage, how accurate you are, and where you're going with the football. This kid, Jaden Daniels, is reading the defense prior to the snap. He knows where he's going with the ball, coach.
Cliff Kingsbury is scheming that team so well and getting his guys open.
I don't care. You're missing my point. Either your quarterback is good enough to read where to go with the ball or they're not. I don't care what scheme you have.
Caleb Williams with a clean pocket was 29 for 43, threw for 333 yards and a touchdown. I don't want to hear that because when he had a clean pocket, and by the way, some of these route concepts are absolutely insane.
What's a clean? Okay,
like one throw.
Let's define what a clean pocket is. Can we do that? What is a clean pocket?
Where when he's releasing the ball, he doesn't have a guy breathing down his neck.
Fine.
That's a clean pocket.
And how many seconds do you think an NFL quarterback is supposed to have to throw the ball?
At least 2.5. At least 2.5.
Right.
And what was Caleb throwing? 2.3 seconds per throw.
Great. So let's stick right there. Every quarterback,
but he's not getting 2.5 seconds to throw the ball. He's even getting 1.5. He's getting 1.5. Come on, oh man. God. You know what? Fine. Jaden Daniels looks great. He's better than Caleb right now. I agree. He's looked a lot better. Absolutely.
Oh, damn,
absolutely.
Now we're starting to be a little bit honest.
No, I have been honest, but I just don't think it is so. I don't think it's fair at all.
We're not fair.
For people to do Caleb Williams.
Time out.
They've been doing.
We do not want to talk about fair as a Bears organization. When we had a quarterback.
Yeah, that wasn't fair.
No. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we had a quarterback who we all knew had no weapons. No offensive line. The defense got stripped apart. No receiving core. A tight end who was completely green. And we still said that he was supposed to figure out how to win games in the National Football League. That's what Bears fans was putting on that kid. So I don't want to hear nothing about fair. Absolutely zero about fair. I don't care about fair. I care about the results in which we decided as an organization to get rid of a kid who we knew had nothing around him. For a kid that was supposed to be the answer to all of our problems, right? So now we get this kid, and the first thing that everybody wants to do is be supremely apologetic. to Caleb. Everybody wants to be supremely, it's not him. It's the offensive line. It's the fact we don't have running backs. It's the fact that Shane Waldron doesn't know how to call calls. Where's the scheme for this kid? He's out there getting
look at that.
He's out there.
Look at that dime.
He's out there getting just tormented.
Look at that dime.
Yes.
Look at that dime.
Every quarterback in the NFL with time on their hands, with time in the pocket, should be able to deliver good passes, which is why I say Anthony Richardson is a raw talent. Is a complete raw talent. So here, but let me finish just simply all I'm saying is this. I'm not here to discuss fair. We lost the ability to talk about what's fair when we traded Justin. When we gave up on him, knowing that absolutely his entire tenure with the Bears organization was absolutely unfair. Multiple head coaches, new GM, defense ripped apart.
Offensive coordinator
over 1 year after year after year. So I don't want to hear nothing about fair when it comes down to this kid, Caleb. I want results. Because what I was promised was that this kid from USC was supposed to come in with a greater IQ, greater accuracy, greater ability to read the defense, get the ball out fast, and get into the targets on time. He was supposed to be anticipatory. He was supposed to be able to read what was happening in front of him. He was supposed to hit wide receivers on the dime, because these are all the things that was promised to us because Justin couldn't do it. And when fans of Justin was screaming, the boy can't do it because he can't get off the floor. He cannot stop having his ass on the field. Every time he gets the ball, he's running for his life. When we were saying this, everybody said, no, he's holding on to the ball. He just doesn't have it up here. His IQ is just not good. He's trash. He can't make the accurate throws. Okay, cool. You got rid of him. Now you got your boy. And the first thing everybody wants to say, again, he doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have running backs. Like, I don't want to hear this.
Okay.
I don't.
Yep. I'm going to leave it at this, and then we're going to move on because we've been on this decent tangent here, but that's all right.
Yes.
All I want everybody to do is go watch the QB school. Watch him break down Justin Fields in Chicago versus
Justin
Caleb
Fields
Williams.
in Pittsburgh. Oh, okay. I was going to say.
No. Justin Fields in Chicago versus Caleb Williams in Chicago.
Okay.
That's all I want people to do. Watch him break it down. Watch Caleb go through his progressions. And it's not him being lost on the field because he is truly going through his progressions just how every other quarterback is doing, right?
Sure.
Should be doing.
Sure.
And he is.
Get the ball out.
He does get the ball out.
Get the ball out.
He does. He did.
Okay, so why is Jaden Daniels able to go 21 for 23? Are you saying
he's
that is
throwing
why
the ball 23 times and he's getting 100 rushing yards per game?
I'm asking you a question. How is he able to go 21 for 23?
Because of the scheme. Because of and he's accurate. I'm not going to put it on this. He's accurate. Absolutely, he's accurate. But when you're throwing only 4 passes over 20 yards and everything else is under 10 yards, how are you not going to be accurate in the NFL? You know what they're doing? They set up a college offense for this kid to come in.
But why?
A college
Let
offense.
me ask you a question.
And they set up Caleb to come in and be in an NFL offense.
Let me ask you a question.
They did.
Why is he throwing the yard? Why is he throwing only 4 passes over 20 yards, but everything else is 10 yards or less? So why is he doing that?
Because of the offensive coordinator.
No.
That is how they're running the plays.
Why is he doing that?
Because that's who's open. That's who's open.
Thank you.
Because they're scheming them open. Because they're scheming them open. They're scheming them open.
They're not scheming them open.
They're scheming them open.
They're open.
Yes.
No. It's simply just that. They're open. That's what the defense is giving him. So if the defense is giving him the check down, he goes to the check down.
So you mean to tell me when Shane Waldron sets up his route tree and has 2 guys literally in the same exact spot, you're telling me they're supposed to succeed like that?
First of all,
that's supposed to get somebody open?
First of all, I'm not going to sit here and believe that an NFL offensive coordinator is so incompetent that they're putting together a scheme in which 2 wide receivers will be occupying the same part of the field.
Have you not seen it?
No, I said from the beginning that I think the skill players are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I said that from the jump. I don't think these skill players that we have know what they're doing. So it could be coaching in that aspect, but I don't believe he's drawing up plays like that. You and I are both coaches.
Yes.
Right now, let's go into the coaches box.
Yep.
Because we're talking as fans. We are both coaches.
Yep.
How many times have we drawn up plays and guys go out there and do exactly what we did not draw up? Or 2 people end up being in the same spot that we said don't be in? How many times does that happen? Be honest.
With
A lot.
our team, often.
A lot.
But with a team that runs through the plays plenty of times, right? Plenty of times over, and drills it to the end of times. Go look at any other. Keep it on basketball for a second. Go look at Oak Lawn, for example, right? 4A school. Watch how they run their plays. That is because they have guys that are bought in, that are listening.
Good.
Yes.
Stay right there.
Yes.
Stay right there.
Yes.
Stay right there.
Okay.
So what does that say? So what does that say about the Bears players? Are they bought in? Are they listening?
Not to the coaching, that's for sure.
Woo!
Not to the coaching.
So now we starting to get somewhere.
Yep.
Now we cooking.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's either incompetency on the player's behalf.
I think it's a mixture of both. I think it's the offensive coordinator sometimes making the bad calls, but I think it's also sometimes maybe he drew up a great play, right? Maybe it was going to be a great play that was going to get us 20 yards down the field, but for whatever reason, Roma Dunze and Cole Kmet are in the same area.
Because somebody clearly between these skill players are not paying attention when it comes down to the coaching.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention when it comes down to film study.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention when it comes down to practice.
Yeah.
Something is happening. Something is happening. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know one thing. DJ Moore has gone from being one of the most featured wide receivers in the NFL, even with a porous quarterback in Justin Fields, to now being absolutely a ghost with the number 1 overall pick in Caleb Williams. Where is DJ Moore?
They have him running wide receiver screens, Malcolm. They have DJ Moore, one of the best route runners in the NFL, running wide receiver screens.
Oh, my God.
You're to tell.
No, not every player is a wide receiver screen.
Not every
so
player.
Why is Caleb not finding him?
But he
Why is Caleb not finding
is.
him?
How many catches did he have last game? At least 4.
Ooh, do you know how many catches DJ Moore used to get with Justin Fields a game? You know how many yards he used? He was a 1,000-yard receiver,
That's
bro.
the only wideout he had.
No, he had more wideouts. It was just that Justin Fields.
Chase Claypool?
All right.
Who the hell?
All right. We're gonna move on.
Which actually leads on to our next point about Ryan Poles.
Yes, that does. That leads right into Ryan Poles.
Beautiful,
All right.
beautiful.
So Ryan Poles. At this point, because clearly I say Caleb is not delivering the goods. You say give him time, and we've already gone through that back and forth.
Yeah.
The fans can decide themselves how they feel on it. Yeah. I think the fan base as this continues is going to get more and more divided, and eventually is going to get more and more about maybe we should look at polls. Maybe he didn't evaluate all of this correctly. So here's my point. Since I wanted to keep Justin in the first place, let me just be, I'm going to keep saying this. I wanted to keep Justin in the first place because I always felt that we didn't have the ability when polls kept talking about evaluation this, evaluation that. My whole mindset was, how can you even talk about evaluating when this kid is getting his butt beat 24/7? Where is the evaluation? He's getting killed. He's getting murdered. So how can you evaluate? He should have prioritized getting an offensive line together.
Agreed.
Now, whether that was through free agency or whether that was through the draft, we should have put all of our draft capital, at least in the first 3 rounds of the last 2 drafts, to focus on getting offensive linemen. We should have been able to get the top 20 linemen in our system from the past 3 drafts. It could have been ranked number 2, right? However we got them, we should have been able to fill out a whole new line based upon young, raw prospect talents from the top 3 lines, from the top 3 drafts. The best kid from University of Michigan, the best guard from here, the best tackle from here. But we should have been able to get a whole new line, young boys that we could have said, okay, you know what? Maybe they have some struggles, but they're all young. They can grow together like a starting 5 in the NBA. They grow together, they figure this out, and over time, because they've been working with each other all this time, they'll know how to respond, react, and work with one another like a unison. They won't even have to really talk to one another. They would just feel it. Just know, like, okay, he needs help. Boom,
right.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Right? That's how he should have prioritized things, especially somebody who was a lineman himself.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah. It's supposed to be his offensive line.
That's what he's supposed to be. So I want to know, at this point, based upon what you're seeing, are you blaming polls now for what's happening?
Absolutely. And I think it all, Not entirely on Poles, obviously, because he's not the one that's going out there and playing or coaching the team, right? But he's the one assembling it. He's the one hiring the head coach, right? And the personnel and stuff like that. So I think this all stems back to the Justin Fields era. Obviously, that wasn't the quarterback he drafted.
That wasn't the quarterback. Yeah.
Probably didn't want him, I'm assuming, just because of how he was treated. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, well, let's see if this kid could do anything with no offensive line and one wide receiver, right? Stuff like that. I think it's detrimental that the opportunity we had when we made that trade with the number 1 pick, I think that's the only thing that's given Ryan Poles such incredible credibility right now, is the one trade he made with the Panthers where we traded Bryce Young, ended up being Bryce Young, for Caleb, Tyreek Stevenson, not Rome, Darnell Wright, and I think we have another second coming up this season, and then whoever we drafted another guy there too, but insane trade, right? Absolute fleece of this. Oh, and DJ Moore.
Yeah.
While we're at it, our number 1 wide receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the one trade that is keeping him this job, because other than that, what has he done? Traded a 2nd-round pick for Chase Claypool. Granted, he was trying to get Justin Fields some help, but I think we all could have known Chase Claypool has been probably one of the most inconsistent wideouts in the league.
Yes.
What else has he done? Signed Nate Davis. Signed Ryan Bates. Signed Coleman Shelton.
Yeah. I mean, these are all his attempts to add depth to the line.
He's trying, and depth, but we don't even have starters.
He thought he did.
I don't think Coleman Shelton starts on another NFL team.
Maybe not.
I don't think Nate Davis starts on another NFL team.
Maybe not.
Tevin Jenkins is up in the air recently as well.
But he could probably start on another team.
Yeah.
But Tevin Jenkins...
And that wasn't even his guy.
But my thing is, Tevin Jenkins and Darnell Wright, again, should have been a part of that young group.
Yes.
We should have got Paris Johnson Jr.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We should have got Paris Johnson from Ohio State. We should have found a way to get Skronsky from Northwestern.
Well, that was the same draft as Darnell Wright. So,
what, Paris Johnson?
No.
Skronsky. Okay. Yeah. We could have found a way to still get him. We still had ways to move up.
Would have been nice to get Joe Wald or JC Latham this year.
But that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is you had 2 young, you had a young kid in Tevin Jenkins. You ended up getting another young kid in Darnell Wright. Just go young at the offensive line. Find as many young linemen. Why are we wasting and nothing against the punter, but why are we wasting the draft pick on a punter?
He's great.
He's gonna be good though.
He's great.
I like him.
Him being one of I think he is the highest drafted punter of all
I
time.
know, but I'm just saying, I get it.
Yeah,
but he's a good kid.
I understand.
And I don't have nothing against him, but I'm just saying the priority should have been the offensive line. You had all this opportunity, all this draft capital that you could have switched around, you could have moved back. You could, and again, in my theory, if you keep Fields again, you trick the world into believing that you're going to draft Caleb, and then on draft night you say, "Who wants this number 1?"
Yeah,
the haul you could have got again would have been ridiculous.
You get multiple starters.
Yes,
at that point,
you could have loaded up on the offensive line.
Yep.
So my thing is just, I think there was a missed opportunity again. This is why I think a lot of things are above him, and that's why I don't blame him. I don't think the decisions that have been made since knowing that the Bears were going to get the number 1 pick and Caleb Williams was coming to the draft, I don't think these decisions have been posed. I think this has been the Bears organization telling him.
You think it's McCaskey's?
Yes. I think it's them telling him completely, we don't care about your evaluations. We're here to sell tickets. The fans have already decided that they've turned on Justin Fields. Yeah, there's a Justin Fields homer base. We love them, but we don't care.
Yeah.
Our constituents, the people who pay the money, the people who want the box seats, the people who got season tickets, they're saying Caleb is the guy. We've seen enough of Justin. So you move on. And then what does Ryan Poles have to do? You have to take into account that this kid, Caleb, is coming in asking for unprecedented things. He wants to get paid through an LLC. He wants to have equity stake in the team. maybe these things are fake. Maybe these things are not.
The LLC, I think, is true.
Yeah, but the equity stake probably was fake.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's still coming in asking for unprecedented things.
He did get like $25 million.
And you gave him $25 million guaranteed out the gate, which is the same amount of money that, quote unquote, you could have gave Justin as a one-time tag before you decided to give him a New Year deal.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think
so all I'm saying is, you have all these things in mind. You're gonna get you knew you were getting Caleb, and you're gonna get him a young weapon, so you get Rome. So you're already calculating the money that you have to spend on Caleb, which takes away from the money that you could have spent on free agents on the line. You could have talked to Justin and said, "Yo, we're not giving you 25, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna get you a better line. We're gonna make sure that you can stay upright, and we're gonna give you one more year to prove." Blah, blah, blah. Because think about it, regardless of the case, there's always a generational quarterback coming.
Yeah, that's
every single draft.
Yep.
There is always some quarterback that you just can't pass on.
Yeah,
you just can't pass on.
Bona fide star in the NFL.
Star. Boy, he's a bona fide stud. I mean, he has all the intangibles. It's going to be somebody that's going to come through the draft.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, like, Look at our list of quarterbacks. Since 1992.
Yeah, that is
since
absurd.
1992, the Bears have yet to find one quarterback that can stick around for 10 years.
It's actually sad. Like, I mean, people are gonna say like Rick Grossman and all that stuff, but like, it's actually said that like Jay Cutler was probably like our most competent quarterback out of this whole list.
He's the best quarterback we've ever had since Sid Luckman.
Yeah.
And Luckman,
that wasn't even like.
And Sid Luckman played when the NFL was probably on tape delay.
Yeah.
And it was in black and white.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that the point of Ryan Poles, I think, is one that we agree on both. That I think he failed Justin Fields tremendously, but I think that also goes back to Ryan Pace as well, because obviously that was his guy, right? He drafted Justin Fields. He also didn't surround him with a great line and wideouts, and then Ryan Poles had to come in. Came in the first year, right? Stripped down the team, and then able to retool. You know what I mean? Get guys like Tremaine Edmonds, re-sign Jalen Johnson, sign T.J. Edwards. You know what I mean? Trade for a guy like Montez Sweat. The Bears' defense is right now what it is because of Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen Johnson was drafted by Ryan Pace, granted, right? And all of that. And I think Kyler Gordon is as well, maybe, but. Other than that defense is all Ryan Poles is doing, and he's revitalized that defense.
But looking at this graphic of quarterbacks, this leads into like one of my questions: is the Bears just a terrible organization? Are they just a terrible organization?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Yes, I just think that we hold on to that 1985 Bears team so dearly that we just can't get past it.
That they're really the Cleveland Browns or the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I could wholeheartedly say, yeah. I mean, we're storied. You know what I mean? Soldier Field is such a historic venue.
Yeah. I mean, look at this.
You've got guys like Khalil Mack. You've got guys. You know what I mean? You got William Perry. You've got all these guys, and it's like, for what? For one Super Bowl?
Yeah, I would agree.
And then years of mediocrity. Yeah, I don't even think there's a discussion here, because if this was a good organization,
we would be in a better position.
We'd be looking at them like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are the organization you want to be in football.
Yeah.
That is how you build your team, right?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, 10 years ago, I mean, what? They had Jamal Charles.
And we had opportunities to be the Patriots with the way our defense was. If we just had a competent GM that understood, okay, take care of the trenches on the offensive side of the ball, we would have been okay, because we've had historic defenses through forever since 1985.
I mean,
but we just
2018.
But we've also just failed them because we've just never been competent as an organization to do the things on the offensive side of the ball. But as we start to close this episode, I wanna get your Week 4 NFL predictions.
Okay.
So for the games that's coming this Sunday and next Monday, Any games that you're really interested in, or any games that you think might be an upset or a surprise situation?
Well, do you want to just go down the whole list and kind of go
Okay, we can do that.
WL and kind of compare from there?
All right, let's make our choice. Cowboys, Giants.
I got Cowboys. I think they're going to dominate that game.
Okay, Saints, Falcons.
Tough one. I think the Falcons could do it.
Yeah, I
think that defense is nice.
I got a surprise. I got another surprise, but I think New Orleans took a good gut check against the Eagles, and I think they need to fix some things.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Carolina, the battle of porous.
Cincinnati. I think they bounce back, get their first one of the year here.
They spanked the Panthers.
Yeah.
Bears, Rams.
I got the Bears at home, Soldier Field. The Rams never play good in Chicago just because of the weather, and also they're missing Cooper Kupp still.
Yeah.
And Puka Nakua is still out. Matthew Stafford, I think, is going to have a real tough time in that game.
I say Matthew Stafford comes here and reminds people why he's Matthew Stafford. I got the Rams. Green Bay, Vikings.
Is this in Lambeau? It's in Lambeau.
Yeah.
I got Green Bay.
I got Minnesota.
It pains me to say it, but I got Green Bay.
I got Minnesota because I don't trust Malik Willis. Not against Sam Darnold right now. He's on a heater.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Houston. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's Houston. Steelers, Indianapolis. We don't need to talk about that one either. Unless Anthony Richardson does something crazy, which I don't think. I got the Steelers.
Yeah. I got them too.
Denver, Jets.
Interesting one, just because of how the way the Broncos played this last week.
Yeah.
But I think the experience of Aaron Rodgers could.
Yeah, I got the Jets too.
Through the line.
I think Denver can make it tough, but I got the Jets.
And that Jets defense is really nice.
Yeah.
It's going to give Bo Nix some problems.
Eagles, Buccaneers.
Eagles, Bucks. Tough one. I think the Bucks are at home. I've got Baker making a statement game here.
Yeah, I got the Bucks spanking them too.
Yeah.
Washington, Arizona.
I like it. You've got two of the top rookies here. Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison. Shoot, that's a tough one. Go ahead with your pick first. I don't even know yet.
I got Arizona in a late game field goal.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna go Arizona too.
I got Arizona in a late game field goal.
Break up the 3-0 that the Commanders have.
New England, San Francisco.
New England, San Francisco. You know what? I think we thought the Patriots were better than they are last week, and then when they lost, we're like, okay, this is still like the bad Patriots. So San Francisco.
Yeah, I got San Francisco too. Kansas City, Chargers,
Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Yep.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
Chargers
where they
lost. They don't have what's his name, Justin Herbert right now. Browns, Raiders. I got the Raiders.
Yeah, give me Gardner Minshew throwing 2 touchdowns to Devontae Adams.
I don't
this
have
week.
all that happening. I just think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be
fantasy owners. You got Devontae Adams starting this week.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. Baltimore, Buffalo. Now that one is the one.
Yep.
That one is the one.
And so fitting that they have that Sunday night too.
Yeah.
Sunday night, that is the perfect game.
That's the perfect game
this year.
Baltimore spanks them.
They are at home.
Baltimore spanks them. Not like they spank them. And the reason why they spank them is because Baltimore needs a statement game.
Give me Josh Allen running for about 80 yards and throwing 3 touchdowns.
So you got the Bills?
I think Josh Allen goes berserk.
Against Baltimore?
Yep.
All right.
And I got the Bills.
Tennessee, Miami. I got Tennessee because Miami doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I can see that, but I also think what, give me Miami in that game. I think,
Will Levis is bad, so I got you.
Yeah.
Detroit, Seattle.
Eesh. Yeah, I know my boy Chris watching this is gonna hate it, but give me Detroit at home.
I think Seattle will pull that off.
Hell
all right,
no.
That's our week 4 predictions. Now, next episode, when we get back together again, Coach K, I know you're a busy guy. I'm a busy person too. I do want to just quickly point out the Bulls season is coming.
Yep, very soon.
Training camp is right around the corner. I think they're maybe already in like their training camp and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're already practicing and stuff like that.
Preseason right around the corner. News just broke recently. Darnell Mayberry spoke about how Zach LaVine is buying into not stunting the growth of the young players on the team. And obviously, Lonzo Ball is looking to return back, that he's playing a little healthy and stuff like that. Obviously, we'll get into it a little bit more on the next episode, but just really quickly, how much of this do you believe is Zach LaVine really buying in, or is this the Bulls trying to repair the image that they tore apart so that they can put him back in the marketplace?
I got 2 letters for you.
Yeah.
BS.
Bullshit. Yeah, I kind of felt that too. I kind of felt that a little bit. But yeah, we'll get into that more on the next episode. But yeah, I still think, just in closing, Caleb is the problem.
No. Oh my God, man. Why'd you have to end it with that?
Because I want the fans. I want the fans to know.
No.
I want you to know.
Caleb is not the
I
problem.
want you to know.
Don't listen to this guy.
that
He's on BS.
Caleb is the problem.
He's on BS.
We should have never got him. Jaden Daniels was the guy, or we should have just kept Justin.
Caleb Williams is going to be better than the last. He's going to be the best quarterback in Bears history. Mark my words.
Yeah, because he'll be the one that's out of here the fastest. So that's why he'll be the best. All right, this has been an episode of the Halftime Podcast. I'm Coach Malcolm.
I'm Coach Konrad.
All right, you guys enjoy yourselves. And as always, bear down.
Bear down, baby.
See red, baby.
See ya.